So gold, the world's largest asset in the world, is trading like a risk asset. It's trading like an altcoin, a prime altcoin. The largest asset in the world is fallen by quite a lot. Let's just have a look. Oh, don't want to do that. Let's get that up. Bloody trading view. Let's go from here. It's fallen by what, 27%? The ultimate, hedge against inflation, or the doomsday trade. But you know what's funny? I'm not seeing a lot about gold online. I'm seeing just a lot about AI, SpaceX, and all that. But this is the time you want to be watching. So in this video, I'm going to do a little breakdown on gold, why I'm watching with intent. Fundamentally, the main reason is you have countries seem to be dumping their US dollars and accumulating gold. You could do your own research on that as well, but that's something that I've been reading online. So ultimately, look, if you're long-term in gold, this doesn't matter. You should be probably thinking, yes, finally, we're approaching a great accumulation zone. You can see gold on its Z score I've got here, almost in that, -2 area. You could argue now, if we go onto the daily, yeah, we're in some really nice zones here where it's approaching that area where it's not been in a while, where you could think, okay, cool, I'm going to be interested in gold. So ultimately, you want to be thinking to yourself, right, let's start accumulating gold. 27% off the highs, which you could argue is really good because it doesn't typically do this. But gold, had its biggest run ever, especially from a market cap gain, right? So gold's doing things it's never done before, you could argue. So this is the moment where you don't want to take your eye off the ball. You want to be watching gold. If you're a long-term gold person, this is when you should be watching, not when the podcasts are talking about it, when they're talking about doomsday this, doomsday that. This is when you want to be saying to yourself, I need to be buying gold or I need to be watching. Some of the things I will definitely be watching is like, look, this is crossing bearish. Those 200-day EMA, 33-day EMA. What I would be looking for is, definitely, coming above here would be good to see. On the weekly, a close above there is great. So that's similar sort of area, kind of in that zone. But that's what I'd be looking for on a weekly basis. But yeah, look, gold's probably going to do not a lot for a while. Now, this is obviously guessing, right? Like, you can't predict the future. But gold is going to probably bore some people out. But no one is talking about this. I'm not seeing any of it online. Nothing about gold. But you need to be watching now, because people weren't talking about gold in this zone, right? They weren't talking about here. They certainly were talking about it there, though, but they weren't talking about it here. And look at those. What's that, 2x? More, right? So think to yourself, okay, cool. Do the research on gold fundamentally, what's happening with gold at the minute, and then say to yourself, okay, cool. Is this something I want to bother watching or not? Like, am I a gold person? If you're a value investor, you care about cash flow, it's probably not for you. Disregard it. If you're a person who, does things completely on charts, then yeah, this is something I'm going to be watching. I'm thinking, okay, cool, this could get interesting. It's it's in a good zone to accumulate long term. And, I would assume when these go bullish again, it could be time for another run. That would be the assumption, because you've got to have that blind assumption. And why do I say that? Fits in with my process, fits in with what I'm doing. So look, quick analysis on gold. Wanted to jump on, not financial advice. Remember, you've got to do your own work, do your own research. But yeah, if you're interested in gold and you're taking gold seriously, now's the time. Remember, guys, I've got a free newsletter. Sign up below if you want to consume pointless financial market stuff. Not really. I'll see you in the next one.